See all this, this stuff. If you look at the pictures of women 50 or 60 years ago, you won't find this. You will find women covered, but not this. They didn't have Islamic banks. And you have to tell me that these women of the past, 50 or 60 years ago, that Islam wore less than the people today, because it's completely wrong. They had a Dakwah, they have Islam was in their veins. They were mentioning Islam, it was in their living. They had less amount of mosques, but more Dakwah. So what has happened to us? It's all become figurative. And everybody plays the role. Everybody plays the game alone. Nobody cares. The alims always focusing on these sexual behavior issues like mad, while we are busy Islamizing banking. See, it's like that. Exactly Protestant Islam. This is Islamic Protestantism. And I'm not exaggerating, because Abdu, well, not Abdu, but his teacher, Afghani, he presented himself as Luther. He said, I am the Luther of the Muslims. They were conscious of what they were doing. And even today, there are authors, Kafir authors, speaking about Islamic reform in terms of Protestantism. Islamic reform. There's no Islamic reform. We don't need reform. Capitalism needs reform, not we. So, you can see, this is a deep issue. How do we treat the Kafir, again, to answer your question? First of all, trade with us, using the dinar and the dirham. Second, Dakwah. Dakwah, massive Dakwah. To these people, they're desperate. They don't believe in anything at all. There's no Christians anymore. I come from a Catholic country, Spain. There's hardly 2% of people who still go to church. They lost it all. Even if the most astounded Catholic, you scratch a little bit, there is nothing behind. They cannot believe on this Trinity, 2 gods, 3 gods, and the biscuit you eat God, and the blood of God. Can you imagine? You drink the blood of God, and you call that religion or rational or anything? It's no difference between Shiva killing, all these religions of the East. It is completely insane. Nobody can believe that, and it's all a mystery, it's nonsense. So, Dakwah, and to colonize the West. We had to colonize the West. The West is asking to be colonized. They've lost any way of civilization. They have lost any ground. What we have to do is to bring a clean currency, because they don't have any clean currency, dinar and dirham. We have to open markets. The same way they colonized us, with false currency and false markets. We should do it with clean money and clean markets, and take over. The societies are unoperational. The supermarkets have taken over. There is complete monopolies. Open, create markets there. Expand, bring our products there, bring our traders there, caravans, etc., etc. In other words, Islam is the answer. How do you interact with them? Islam. Dakwah. There is a possibility to find a digital payment system. I'm the founder of E-dinar, the first ever payment system in Islam. There are rules. 3 rules have to be applicable at every given time. Number 1 is that it has to be 100% backed by gold. So there's no fractional reserve banking here at all, 0. Second, if there is custodian, if there is a repository, the best thing is if there isn't, but if there is, it must be under Muslim rule. Custodianship must be Islamic. This is Islamic law. The amanah must belong to Muslims. And the third one is that every representational unit, every E-dinar in circulation cannot be transferred to a third party, except that the original E-dinar is cancelled. So in other words, you don't have duplications, you don't have double life for the electronic currency. Okay, considering that, then you have the basis which you can do it. So technically speaking, it can be done, but then you have another 20 layers of considerations to put into account. One of the most important, and as I said, I will cover these matters in detail on the third day. But it's a question of pricing and to understand the difference between bullion and coin. Okay? In Islam, you have three categories of prices. You have material, nuggets, bullion, minted coins, and then you have jewelry. If you exchange coins for coins, you have to do it by weight. But Imam Malik says, can you exchange gold or silver coins for jewelry or material? He said, yes, you can do it without measuring, meaning different pricing. So the price of the material and the price of the gold dinar is different. If you have an E-dinar payment system, it has to be based on the dinar. To have the dinar in place, you have to have physical gold coins in place. So you cannot start a digital payment system until you have the gold coins in circulation. Then when you have the gold coins in circulation, you have to bear in mind that all the coins have to be equal for equal. Therefore, 1 dinar must be exactly half of the value of a double dinar, not 1.97. It has to be proportional premium. The value has to be proportional. There is no gold coins in the world today sold at proportional value, except the gold dinar minted by WIM, World Islamic Mint, which I am the chairman. It's the only gold coin in the world. Okay? Everybody else does the price that they feel suitable, because they are not thinking of currency. So proportionality and differential between bullion and coin. Then you have legal issues, then you have organizational issues, then you have representational matters, and 20 other issues to be considered. If you put all that together, then you can start a digital currency. If you just have an idea of how to make gold payment system, then follow the queue. There are another 200 people trying to do the same. There is only one way to do it Islamic, and there are many ways of doing it wrong. That's what I'm saying. So if you want to do it, welcome, coming to the club. And avoid what I call the cul-de-sacs. It's pseudo-formulations. That they look like you are doing something regarding the gold dinar. It's nothing to do with the gold dinar. Like, for example, what Dr. Mahathir did has nothing to do with the gold dinar. The proposal that the central bank presented to the OIC as the Malaysian proposal for the gold dinar has nothing to do with gold coins at all. You know what it was originally said, that only a small amount of gold dinars need to be minted in order to satisfy all the bilateral transactions. Only a small amount. Actually, that small amount is zero, because that amount is transferred as credit from one month to the next. So the central bank told us very clearly, we don't need to mint the gold dinar. So you tell me how a system called the gold dinar doesn't need gold dinars. In the same way, a digital payment system can be designed in a formula you don't need gold dinars. And there's where you go wrong, cul-de-sacs. And to show you how this matter can be so intriguing, and so you can get so lost and so easily lost, the central bank, when they presented this matter to the OIC, I was present. I was invited as a world expert on the gold dinar. And when the central bank made the presentation, saying this is the gold dinar proposal, I said to them, well, since you are not using gold dinar, please remove the word gold dinar from your proposal. And the lady from the central bank said, actually, that's a great idea. And they remove it. Then later on they realized, no, we cannot remove it, because otherwise, this doesn't make sense. And they put it back again. They don't care. Okay? And if you want to do something regarding the gold dinar, remember one thing. You are not doing economic reform. This is an Islamic issue. If you are doing an Islamic matter, then you have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're doing 120%. There's no way for error. So the best way, come with the people who are motivated to this matter and they are working together.